Hello and a very warm welcome back to Africa Goes Live. My name is Michaela Soule. I'm running a representation company for a number of years now in Germany. I used to live for 25 years in Africa, but during that time, I've never ever had the pleasure to go to Uganda. Today, I have a wonderful client joining me in my Africa Goes Live session, Nelson Mugisha. I welcome you back from Lake Chahafi Resort. And the reason why we're doing this recording today is that I have just been on the most amazing, heartwarming, touching Uganda experience that I can wish for everyone else to experience the same way. It was just really outstanding what this country has to offer. It is not without saying the Pearl of Africa. It is really, truly a fabulous experience. The people are welcoming, warm. The nature is very, very impressive. It's very diverse. And the animal experiences are out of this world. And we are just touching a couple of them with Nelson together, because my last couple of days I spent with Nelson at Lake Chahafi Resort. And as you can see, I have a little panorama photo here already, because when I arrived, Nelson didn't wait for anything. He just took me on the boat immediately, and his wonderful staff treated us to a wonderful excursion, because we wanted to see obviously as much as we could while I was staying there. So when I arrived, I basically walked past our chalets. He says, we're doing the excursion. Now I have a surprise for you. And off we went in this fabulous boat, and we did an excursion on Lake Chahafi. And this is an excursion that Nelson does on a regular basis with the clients. Nelson, tell us a little bit about it while I'm sort of skipping through the bird life.
Yeah, Lake Chahafi is a papyrus ringed lake with plenty of wildlife from all corners, because the papyrus is really the habitat for most of these birds. So you really enjoy seeing birds right from the start of the facility. I mean, where the facility stops, the lake starts, and
Yes.
your bird watching experience and the scenery complements the activity.
What I also found is there was loads of bird life. It was not just a bird or a kind of species. There was in that drive basically where we took with the boat, we saw a tremendous lot of different species, and not only one of them, as you can see here in the picture. There's a lot of this chicanas, every kind of bird basically you can possibly imagine to live there and breed there for the winter.
Yeah, even a juvenile gray-crowned crane I saw.
Yes.
Prove about the breeding of birds around the lake. Yeah, and that is Uganda's national bird.
And I must say they were very close. When they're hiding sort of at the edge of the water, it was very sweet actually, because they were thinking that we didn't see them. So we came a little bit closer, but we had a good distance still in between that we didn't disturb them. And then they showed off. They actually played a little bit around with one another, and it was really sweet. And as I said, there is not only one bird, you can see plenty of them. So once we finished our little boat trip, we ended up on the opposite side of Lake Chahafi Resort. And I thought like, what's going on here? So we walked up that little hill, and there was Nelson with his entire team setting up for a fabulous sunset dinner. And I must say, this was to me a super, super nice surprise, because you also invited a friend from Germany here, and you can see the two ladies here that joined us for the entire time when I was staying with you, and wonderfully so, because she's from Munich and I know her well. So it was really a great experience to have. And I must say, how beautiful is this hill opposite Lake Chahafi as well for these sunsets? Are you doing that on a regular basis, Nelson, with guests, or?
Yeah, depending on time and availability, because some guests have one night, others have two, but you have 3 nights and you have time for the activity and it's a bright day. Yeah, why not? We do it.
It's wonderful, I must say. It is fabulous to do it. It was, first of all, a big surprise for us, as you can see here. But then it was also just a fabulous setup. It was just really, really beautiful. And the food he cooked, I mean, this is only a little starter that I had photographed here, but then we had serious food coming on. But then it got a bit darker and I couldn't take any more photos, but it was just lovely having all these lanterns around us and light. And then when we finished with our dinner, that was also very special to me. We walked back to Lake Chahafi. We actually walked around the lake, and it was absolutely no problem. And I loved this, I must say. It was really super cool for us to have that route back and experience something different. Instead of the boat coming in, we actually walked back. And thank you very much for this experience, Nelson. It was really, really great. And it was my first evening with you. So that was really sweet. And then, of course,
sure.
the next morning, you took us where? You took us to
Magahinga Gorilla
National Park. We did a couple of interviews already on Magahinga National Park, and this time I experienced it live with you and our little group. And I have to say, it was absolutely phenomenal. The service was outstanding. The briefing was wonderful. I loved the way that they briefing the guests and also the performances of the local community beforehand. Wonderfully done. But then they brief you to such an extent that you have the feeling that you know what you're doing and also what you shouldn't be doing. And I think this is really important in order to protect, of course, these animals, and because we don't know all the things that we need to look after when we are with them. So the briefing was great, and off we went, basically into the nature, all excited to see today the golden monkeys. And it was really, really, it was one of these fabulous days again. And the landscapes, I mean, really through that, it changes all the time. It was like, first you go into the forest and then you have open plains like this. And then for all of a sudden you're standing, and I was really impressed with that, with you're standing in front of a bamboo forest. I've never seen anything like this in my life before. And to me, it was almost like very magical, because these bamboos are long shoots, as you can see here, these long shoots of trees, and they wave in the wind a little bit, and they just go click, 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 click when the wind sort of puts them together. It's wonderful. And what I loved about it is you can see through it, and it's easy to walk. So I'm telling you why I'm saying see through it, because of this. These wonderful golden monkeys were seriously performing, Nelson. Hey, that was a really good day. That was a cool day with them, I must say. You said you've seen them before and they've never done this before.
Yeah. It was so special. That day is unforgettable. The monkeys prayed from all corners. They were not hiding up in the trees. They were eating. I think maybe because it was a shooting season, but it was really magical.
And there were loads of them. There were loads of them around us, playing, running next to us, sitting next to us, looking at us. I mean, we were trying to stay away from them, but they came to us, basically. It was just out of this world.
They habituated. They say the ranger told us it takes 10 years to habituate these monkeys so that they're used to humans. And it was foolproof to us when they were really coming and praying and not bothered about our presence.
And I'm also happy that you're saying this, actually, because this work that goes into this whole situation before we as a tourist can actually go see them is a tremendous long process. As you just said, it's 10 years, 9 years with the gorillas. It doesn't matter, but it's a long time that they have to make sure that these animals are not scared of us, that they accept us in their surroundings, of course, with a very respectful distance. But still, I mean, it takes a long time, basically, for trackers and for anyone who is working with them, basically, for them to get used to them, to the human beings. So that makes it even more special when you see how much work goes in. And I want to break a lance for our porters here again as well, because I think not even for gorilla, it doesn't matter where you're going into these forests. Please, 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 I can just urge you, and I'm fit, take a porter. It's not only to actually carry your rucksack or your camera. It is really the helping hand when you need it, because these mountains are steep. and sometimes not as easy to walk. And I have to say, I was seriously thankful for having that hand reaching towards me to bring me up sometimes, or help me going down somewhere. So please, 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 it's also very important for the communities to work with them. So please do take the porters and support this project. And yeah, we had a fabulous day with the golden monkeys. I was seriously exhausted just by the emotional thrill of it, actually, because I've never had so many wonderful golden monkeys around me in my entire life. It was absolutely wonderful. And then we came back home to your place, and it is really, it feels great to come back home to a comfy place. And it was green, it was lush, you had the lake. One of us went even swimming. You can swim in your lake as well, so that is also something very, very sweet. And
safe for swimming, yeah.
Yes. And Nelson, I want you to also tell us a little bit, because you're extending your property. You actually built another section of the restaurant. You actually, I'm showing this now, is you have built a really great reception area to welcome your guests now in. And this house here gives you shelter from the rain in case you need it when you have dinner. And there's a big fireplace in it. We will see a photo a little bit later when it's set up. And I loved it, I must say, because the rain did surprise us that one evening, and we were very happy to be sitting inside around the fireplace.
It was thunderous.
I have to say as well, I mean, there's so many little things that come to my mind, you know, that you get also from a sustainable point of view. You refill water bottles, you know, we make sure that we don't create a lot of plastic rubbish. Your chef really cooked up a storm for us, I have to say. I really, really want to say this, because we all enjoyed his food tremendously. Thank you very, very much again. And thank you to him as well. So you have really wonderful staff that showed us great hospitality, inclusive of you, of course. And thank you very much for extending and looking after your product as well. I think it's very important to do that and to stay on top of it. So do you want to add anything to that?
What I would add is just to complement the experience by looking for all these add-ons from the hospitality point of view. Yes, it's true, we have a refurbished dining, but we would feel like our guests were staying more than one night, have the experiences in the dining, have a garden setup, an exercise setup, or bush setup. And we are looking at making sure that they are very comfortable. We're making sure that they don't have to worry. And on top of the activities in the park, they also do activities here and also have these experiences of hospitality. I mean, when they are happy, we are happy.
Absolutely.
So
well, you made us happy. I can tell you that. I mean, also, it was really, really great. And the next day, you took us again to the Magahinga National Park, but this time for a very, very special occasion, and that was the gorilla trekking. Before we go into the gorilla trekking, I want you to explain quickly that there is also different other activities basically available at the Magahinga National Park, which is really also a big reason for a lot of people to go to the Magahinga, because they do a lot of other activities there. And please tell us about it, because it's hiking and you can do different kinds of hiking trails, I think.
Yeah, hiking is one of the popular activities in Magahinga, because we have 3 different volcanoes, and the different volcanoes also challenge us differently. So if you're up there for a bigger challenge, Mount Mahavura ranks high, 4,127 meters above sea level. That's a full day activity, and UWA, or the agency, is actually working on making it longer, probably even longer than 1 day for those who want. Then there's Mount Gahinga, which has a crater swamp on top. That one is a little bit, it is very demanding, but a little bit not comparable to Mount Sabinyo or Mount Mahavura. But each has a different unique experience. Mahavura, you experience a crater lake on top, and Gahinga, you experience a crater swamp. While at the top of Mount Sabinyo, you are actually where the demarcation of Uganda started. pillar number 1 in 3 countries.
That's it.
Congo,
And you've
Uganda,
done
and
it. You've
Rwanda.
done it twice, I think.
I've done it more than once, and
Yeah.
it's demanding but very interesting. It's like experience in the jungle
Yes.
with clouds hovering on top of you, and some little bit of warmth and activity. I mean, you cannot stop hiking. If you stop, you freeze. So you have to
Yeah.
continue.
I must say, I spoke to a couple of people after we've seen each other, and everyone loves these hikes. Everyone loved these hikes. We also met 3 young guys going up the hill, actually, while we went down to not down when we went up to the gorillas. They went actually up the mountains. They did also Sabino, I think, that day, and they were so excited about it. So there is a lot of activity, and I think I want to stress this out actually, because Uganda offers a lot of active holiday. And I think people should really consider this, because it is very different to all, or to a lot of other Africa destinations, actually, where you sit more, where you do the game drives more, which is also beautiful. But I think an active holiday like we had it was also very, very appealing. And it really gives you lots of joy. And I must say, especially when you do this. This was a super cool experience again. And I have to say, I have to say, I love these bamboo forests, because gorillas and the golden monkeys, they love these new little shoots that are coming out of this time of the year. And the gorillas were sitting there, taking them off the ground, and they licking them like little lollipops. And it was such a wonderful experience. And also, again, because of this bamboo being an open kind of forest, you saw them so beautiful. You had them in front of you. They, again, was a super cool family. And for me, amazing that they had 3 silverbacks in the family. I always thought that the males would not accept another silverback in it, but they explained to us that they do, actually. Yes, Nelson?
Yeah. I mean, you see that gigantic, gentle
Yeah.
creature in front of you.
I mean, this is with a cell
Not in
phone,
the
I have to
movies.
say.
This
This wonderful gorilla is bigger than my living room sofa. I have to say, it is crazy. And when he got up, my heart was beating very fast, and I couldn't breathe no more, because it is just so touching, the way they look at you, and the way they behave, and the way they accept us in their facilities. It, for me, that to me is really, it touched us a lot. I think all of us that we stood there, and
I remember the thunderous chest thumping
mm,
of
yes,
Mark
the
in the
beating.
chest, beating. Oh
But
my
I
God!
also remember the little one who tried to do the beating as well, like tuk, 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 tuk.
Yeah,
It was
that
just
one was just
it was just really outstanding. And that it's something that I can just urge everyone to do. It's something that you will never ever forget in your life again, because it is really, really beautiful, and it is something that everyone can do. In the different national parks, you can choose, if there is more than one gorilla family, you can choose, or if you want to do a difficult hike or a softer hike. Here at Magahinga National Park, it was that hike to that bamboo forest, which I think was really, really nice, and well prepared for all of us. And again, we had fabulous porters helping us if there was a steep section. And we had the trackers waiting for us, who made sure that we are seeing these wonderful, wonderful creatures. So it is a must. It's not even an option. It is a must to go see them, because if you don't, you will regret it for your entire life. Entire life. Well, Nelson, and then of course it was time, because you can only spend so much time with them. You're only allowed an hour, a little bit more than an hour. And then we head back basically through this fabulous forest of Magahinga National Park. And we said to goodbye to these beautiful, beautiful gorillas. And this was a really big family. I can't even remember how many family members were there on that farm.
this one had 9 members.
9, and
9
three
members.
of them were silverbacks, hey?
Yeah.
So it was Unbelievable, beautiful, I
You
must
want
say.
us, you wanna experience the highest concentration of silverbacks that coexist peacefully.
Mm.
I got for Nyakagezi group in Mugainga.
Yes, and we did. We
Yeah.
certainly did. And when you did the gorilla tracking, you officially get qualified for gorilla tracking, and I did too. So I got my little certificate, and it's hanging right next to me in my office to remind me every day on this fabulous, beautiful experience with these wonderful creatures. We head back down.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for making it possible. And also for Moses Turinawe to say hello to us when we came down the mountain. What a beautiful surprise as well to meet him in person. Beautiful, beautiful gentleman. And thank you very much for everything you've done for us to have this unbelievable, beautiful, beautiful gift of experiencing these gorillas. That was really great. Thank you very much
It's
again.
my pleasure. Yeah.
And then, of course, we went back again home to Lake Chahafi Resort. And there I had a little surprise for Nelson because last year, because last year we had a little live cooking session, if you want to put it that way, in our ASA webinars. You can always sort of get the links from ASA itself. It was really great. So we also cooked up a storm at Lake Chahafi Resort. And it got live broadcasted basically in our webinars, which I thought was really great fun. And then ASA decided to print a publication basically that I'm now taking to the agents that I'm going to visit. And I brought one for Nelson. So Nelson was like, oh my gosh, we are in a magazine. Sitting on his stuppy on the terrace of his chalets. And of course, very, very happy. We had a fabulous last dinner, basically, with you inside the restaurant, beautiful fireplace. And it was, again, your chef provided wonderful food for the soul for us. And we went with full tummies, basically, into our beds. Thank you very much also for the warmer bottles every night, because this is actually so comfy, I must say, because you have like, we spoke earlier, we had early mornings. So it's really, really nice to get a good night's rest. And what I enjoyed a tremendous lot also was the singing in the morning and the coffee I had every morning, and the knocking at my door, singing and saying good morning with my cup of coffee. I think that was super nice as well. So Nelson, Lake Chahafi is a very special place, and it's normally also the end of a sort of tour. If people do not want to drive back to Entebbe for 9 hours, again, they have a really great option, and you showed us this option. Again, thank you very much, with the Kisoro Airport. It's actually, it's smaller aircrafts like these, and you brought us right to the aircraft. I mean, I've never seen anything like this as well, that you can actually walk the people right to until they sit in the aircraft. Please keep in mind soft luggage and 15 kilos, please, if possible, because that is really important to get into these compartments. And then we took off, and it was a fabulous little flight for 1 hour, basically, and it gave us another opportunity in Entebbe to actually go see the shoe bills. And this flight really is great. It's, as I said, it takes you an hour to Entebbe, and then you're there. You have enough time to come to experience Entebbe or even Kampala if you want to, and then maybe rest a little bit in the afternoon and then fly out on your international flight in the evening. So Nelson, I can't thank you enough for what you showed us and how wonderful the experience was. I thought I put something funny in the end, because it says here, sometimes you have to go away. It doesn't matter where you go, but the main thing is you go to Africa. And with these words, I actually want to leave it. Nelson, thank you, thank you, thank you. Lake Chahafi is a great place to visit. You're doing constant improvement on the property. Thank you very much for keeping it on. And thank you for all the experiences that we had and for getting to know you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. And I must say, up to now, it's a treasurable moment. And like we did, we'll always go out of our way to make sure our guests are comfortable and they enjoy the experience. We want to be part of their memorable experience on holiday.
Yes, and
And
you certainly are.
yeah.
You certainly are, and your staff is great as well. So thank you one more time. And I will say until soon, hopefully soon, until next time. Nelson, you keep
Yeah.
well. And
Yeah.
we keep our viewers up to date, I would say, on a regular basis, what's happening at Lake Chahafi. I think this is really important. So thank you very much. And we have a recording soon again on any progress or on any change that you might do. Thank you,
Yeah, sure.
Nelson. Bye-bye.
Bye.